very low-key profile.
The 2nd Armored Division Forward provides its troops with a moving experience.
And tulips and windmills are waiting for a class of Dodge students from Schweinfurt.
The AFN Evening News, compiled from the major networks, wire services, and public affairs offices, with reports from AFN stations in West Germany, Berlin, Belgium, and the Netherlands.
Hello, I'm Ann Mulligan. Today, the U.S. Army and the West German Defense Ministry officially announced what caused a Pershing II rocket motor to catch fire January 11th near Heilbronn. 3 U.S. soldiers were killed and 9 others injured. Investigators concluded that a discharge of static electricity within the propellant of the rocket motor was the cause of the accidental burning. No nuclear devices were involved. The report says that the Army has already started to modify Pershing IIs on the production line and those already deployed in Germany to prevent future accidents. The report says the tests have proved that the modifications work. The Army says Pershing training activity cut back after the accident will resume when the modifications are complete, and continued deployment of Pershing II missiles to Germany will not be affected. There's a new chill in Soviet-American relations. ABC News reports that the United States will expel 1 or more Russian diplomats later this week because of Moscow's contradictory responses to the shooting death of Major Arthur Nicholson. Quoting State Department sources, ABC reports that the Reagan administration would have preferred to avoid the move, but wanted to dramatize how upset the United States was. On Monday, the Soviets said that their guard, who shot Nicholson during an inspection tour in East Germany, was acting in accordance with the law, and they denied that they were considering an apology or compensation, as the State Department had said 5 days earlier. Well, Nicholson's death pushed into the limelight for the first time in almost 40 years the activities of those military liaison missions.
Like the Americans, the British and French established their military missions in Potsdam 37 years ago. Today, very few people in the East or West even know that the missions still exist, let alone what tasks they're supposed to carry out. In 1945, the Allied powers decided to divide Germany into the zones of occupation, which still exist today. The 3 Western allies all set up their liaison missions in Potsdam, while the Soviets opened 1 mission in each of the 3 Western zones.
The existence and the absolutely legal activities of the missions are a piece of pragmatic mutual security policy. The missions are, in some respect, a kind of early warning stations. Very small, of course, but they work.
The interests of secrecy on both sides dictate that many incidents of harassment involving the missions are simply not made public. The primary focus of day-to-day confrontation between East and West remains the city of Berlin. And like Berlin, the military missions, which once served as relay stations, have become an integral part of superpower relations, positive and negative. Mark Rossman, European Journal, West Berlin.
Some American and Soviet war veterans got together today to mark the 40th anniversary of their historic link-up on the Elbe River. Their meeting at Torgau in what is now East Germany in 1945 severed Adolf Hitler's crumbling Nazi empire. 5 days later, Hitler committed suicide. Today there was a wreath-laying, band music, and a statement read from Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev calling for understanding and cooperation among nations. 20,000 people attended, including some of the 50 members of the 69th Infantry Division of the American 1st Army Corps, who met the Red Army on the Elbe River 40 years ago. In a few days, President Reagan will arrive in West Germany for the Economic Summit meeting and the World War II anniversary commemoration. Today, Chancellor Helmut Kohl thanked him for planning to lay a wreath at the German military cemetery, calling the move the noble gesture of a friend. He told Parliament the visit to the Bitburg Cemetery was not intended to honor just those Germans buried there, but everyone who died in World War II. Kohl also said he regretted that the Bitburg controversy had caused Mr. Reagan political problems at home. Well, Kohl himself is not escaping the criticism. Opposition Social Democratic leader Hans-Joachim Vogel said today that Kohl's handling of the Reagan visit has caused one embarrassment after another. Italian police have announced the arrest of one of their most wanted Red Brigade's terrorists, the man responsible for kidnapping U.S. Brigadier General James Dozier in Verona in 1981. Dozier was later freed by police in a spectacular raid on their terrorist hideout. 29-year-old Vittorio Antonini was convicted and sentenced in absentia for kidnapping the NATO general. He drew a jail term of 27 years. How do you move 3,000 troops and equipment almost 400 miles? The answer, very carefully. Specialist Claude Falcone reports now on the return of the 2nd Armored Division Forward Troop to northern Germany.
2nd Armored Division Forward recently completed training exercises in Grafenwehr and Hohenfels. About 3,000 Hell on Wheels troops deployed in late March to training areas 800 kilometers south of Bremen for a month of training. This was such a big exercise that it required the use of both the Osterholz and Schwanenwetter railheads. Special care had to be taken for the trip to Grafenwehr because some of the tunnels along the way offered limited clearance for the huge tracked vehicles. Maneuvers included live fire and a variety of other tasks that tested soldier readiness. Troops returned to Schwanenwetter railhead to the music of the 2nd Armored Division Forward Band. Gloomy